What's up going on, guys? This is our first video here. Millions of people across the nation are facing financial difficulty because of COVID-19. We've seen this year many people receiving pay cuts. We've seen that many people are losing their jobs, they're being furloughed. Today we're going to look at the financial toll that COVID-19 has put on your personal finances. So let's go get a cup of coffee and we'll chat about it, so stick around. What's going on, guys? My name's Peter, and we're going to take a deep dive every week into your personal finances. That way we can see how it affects your now and your future. Today we're going to talk about the credit card debt that has mounted up for many of us during COVID-19. Many of us lost a job, many of us have gotten pay cuts that weren't expected before we got into this. Many of us have been left to fend for ourselves during this pandemic. No matter what kind of stimulus packages our government has provided us, no matter what unemployment insurance, there is still not enough for us. If some of you have received some income, or even if you've lost that income completely, I know the stress that you're under. If you have found that your safety net is in your credit cards, but sometimes that's just not the case. Credit cards are piling up. You may not even be getting extra stimulus from the federal government and even an unemployment insurance from the federal government of that $600 that you're now receiving. You now have to wonder what you're going to do with your credit cards or your mounting debt, the mounting debt that you have piled up over the last few months. Now, at large, this isn't everybody. Many of us haven't had a job loss. I have been blessed where I haven't had a job loss. My wife is a teacher, so she hasn't seen a job loss, but we have seen stresses throughout this whole pandemic. By and large, the actual national debt has come down, but that's just not everybody. Many people took that $1,200 that they received and put it on their debt. So we don't really know how much debt has actually increased for anybody's personal finances. The only ones that you can really count on is yours. What's the real truth here? Soon I'm about to give you some tips and tricks on how to get out of debt, what to do in the next few months to help out your credit card situation. But first, if you're liking today's content, please smash that like button. I also want to know how you're faring in this pandemic. So please leave a comment so we can have a conversation about this. Now let's look at 4 steps that we can take to manage the debt that we have accumulated over the last 3 to 4 months. So the very first step we need to make sure we are doing each and every month is staying current. Making sure that we're at least making that minimum payment. Don't worry about paying it off today if you don't have that income. You need to pile up that cash. So if there is any other emergencies that are going to be facing you, you are able to handle that. You need to stay current. You don't want the credit card company to be calling you. Get a hold of your credit card company. There are plenty of programs that each and every credit card company has outlined during this pandemic. Call them, talk about your interest rate that you currently have with them. Always talk to the lender. If you're about to miss a payment, call them. That is the biggest thing. So number 3 is get that emergency fund. As I said, as part of step 1, let's pile up the cash. When we're piling up the cash, we are creating emergency fund. So if something's about to happen, we don't have a situation going on. What we need an emergency fund. Many financial coaches believe in $1,000 as an emergency fund as a starter. That's great. Some of us may need to start off with $500, but let's at least get $1,000. That's a big goal for a lot of people, just to have $1,000 between you and a situation. The 4th step that we're going to be looking to take is now paying off this debt. Once we are current, once we have our emergency fund, now we can look at how we can actually pay off this. There are several different methods. We'll go into those in different videos. There's the debt snowball method. There's the avalanche method. I have a method that I like to use that's a kind of a hybrid of the both, where I actually take the smallest debt and I am putting all my my energy into those small debts, but I'm also not leaving that highest interest rate debt out there. So I may be doing a 75-25 towards the debts. That way it's kind of working as a sandwich method where we're taking care of some of those higher ones, but we're also getting really that momentum up on those small ones. So here we are in summary of what we went over today. Everybody's going through a financial situation right now, no matter who they are. Credit card debt is mounting no matter what. We cannot rely on the government to bail us out every time. We need to take steps to handle our own personal finances. Now, we also have our steps. We want to get our emergency fund. We want to stay current. Call your credit card companies. Don't let them call you, you call them. Now let's pay off that debt for a better financial future. Thank you so much for watching my video. For more content just like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.